To solve the Rubik's Cube using Zeta-slotting, you will first need to be able to solve the white cross. To make the white cross, you have to know two things. The color scheme of the Rubik's Cube. The color scheme of the Rubik's Cube is the relation of the colors to each other. So if we're solving the white cross, we put white on the bottom, and you will know that yellow will always be opposite of white. Green will always be opposite of blue, and orange will always be opposite of red. If you don't know the color scheme very well yet, during a solve, you can just look at the color of the centers. So if we have white facing the bottom, you can see that green is left of orange, blue is right of orange, and blue is left of red. Because the centers don't move as you scramble the cube, so you can always rely on the centers to figure out the color scheme. Good and bad edges. So a good edge is an edge that can be inserted with one move. For example, this piece over here. This red and white edge can be inserted with an L move. See, then we have one cross piece solved. This blue edge piece can be inserted with R2, so it is also a good edge. This green piece here can be inserted with an R, but this orange edge piece cannot be inserted with one move. See, you cannot put it in the cross with one move. You can also not do it like this. So this piece is a bad edge. The way to solve a bad edge is by putting the edge above the slot that you want it to go into. So for example, orange, we want it to go into this slot, so you put it on top of the place where you want it to go, and then you move it to the left or the right side. I will move it to the right side in this case, and what you want to do is you want to turn the face that the white sticker is on. So this face, you can put your hand on it, this face, and you want to turn it. You want to turn this face. This will turn the edge into a good edge, and then you can just insert normally, like this. Okay, so now that you know the information that you need to solve a cross, here's an example solve. So here we can see that we already have one piece in the cross, and it's the orange piece. And here we have a green piece. It's a good edge, so it can be inserted with one move. But we do not want it here because orange is here. So if we look at the color scheme, we can see that green is left of orange. So we want green to be left of orange, so here. So what we can do is we can move orange away so that when you insert green, it is left of orange. See, green is left of orange. Now once we enter green, we realize that red turns into a good edge. See, here there was a bad edge, but since we turned the face that the white sticker is on, it turned into a good edge. And we can just insert it because red is left of green. So this is very lucky. You can just insert red. And then we can look for blue. Blue is here. So we want to put it on top of the slot we want it to go into. It needs to go here, so you put it on top. And then we can move it to the left or right side. I prefer to move it to the right side. And then we turn the face that the white sticker is on, so this face. And then it turns into a good edge. And we can insert it with one move. And then don't forget to put back the red, like this. Once you have done the cross, you can align it with the centers, and here you go, you have a white cross. In this video, I only briefly covered the white cross as I wanted to focus on Zeta-slotting. If you want to be better at the white cross, I suggest you to watch some dedicated cross tutorials on YouTube or wait for my dedicated cross tutorial to come out. So subscribe so you don't miss out. With the cross made on the bottom, we can start doing the first two layers of the Rubik's Cube, better known as F2L by most cubers. For this step, we'll be using Zeta-slotting. So the first step in Zeta-slotting is to insert all the second layer edges. Since we're doing the white cross, second layer edges are edges that are in the second layer once a cube is solved. These edges do not have the color yellow or white in it. So this is a second layer edge, this is a second layer edge, this is a second layer edge, and this is a second layer edge. Each second layer edge has its own dedicated slots in the cube. So this second layer edge, orange and blue, needs to go here in between the orange and blue center. This second layer edge needs to go here because it has the color red and blue, so it needs to go in between the blue and the red center, and so on and so on. So when doing Zeta-slotting, you want to first insert all the second layer edges. So our goal is to go from this to this. So we have a belt here. And the way we're going to do that is by first picking a second layer edge. And what you want to do is you want to align it with the center in the way that the top color is matching the center color. So right now it is not matched. Orange does not match green. But if we do a U prime, now orange does match orange, and then we can insert. So as we can see, this edge needs to go here in between the green and orange center. So in that case, it needs to go into this slot. So you want to align it with the center and you want to lift the side it needs to go into. You put it into the slot where it needs to go, and then you turn this back down. So here we have another one. We can see top color is red. This is green, so you want to match the top color with the center color. So you put it this way. Now red is matching red, and it needs to go here because it has green here and red there. You move the side up where it needs to go into. You move the piece into the slot, and then you fix everything by putting it back down. Now that we have these two edges solved, we're going to move on to the next two. But sometimes you get the case where the edges are already inserted, but only in the wrong slot. So this piece needs to go there, and this piece needs to go here. Now, in this case, we have no other secondary edges that we have to solve, and both of them are already inserted. So what we have to do is we have to take them out. Now, for example, in this case, here we also have another secondary edge inserted in the wrong slot. It needs to go here. But here we do not need to take it out, because here we can just insert this edge here, and it will nudge this one out, and then you can just do it this way. But in this case, we have nothing to nudge these edges out, since all the others are inserted and these two need to be swapped. So we have to take one of these out. I'm just going to do the right one. So you take them out by first moving the side up. You take it out of its slot, and then you fix the cross. Everything is still solved on this side. And then you can insert this one. And as you do that, this one gets nudged out, and you can just insert it like this. If an edge is inserted in the right slot but twisted, then you just do the same thing. So you take the edge out, you realign it, and you reinsert it. Now sometimes you're just so unlucky that when you just finish the white cross, you will realize that there are no secondary edges in the top layer. They are all inserted in, well, for example, the wrong slot or like this twisted. So if there's nothing in the top layer, just take one out, and then you can just solve normally. Now that we have inserted all the secondary edges in their correct slots, we can move on to the next step of Zeta-slotting, inserting the corners. So we want to go from this, where we only have the belt, to this, where the F2L, the first two layers, are solved. So the way we want to solve F2L is by solving the corners with white in it in their solved position. So we can just pick any corner with white in it that's in the top layer. So I can, for example, pick this one. And you want to put it on top of the place where it needs to go to. So it needs to go here. So you want to put it on top of the solved edge and the slot it needs to go to. And from here you have three cases. So the first case is when white is facing up when you put it on top of the slot. And you want to do is you want to hold this on the right hand side, and you want to do three sexy moves. So the sexy move goes like this: R, U, R prime, U prime. So you want to do that two more times: R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime. Now this is solved. The second and third cases are mirrored cases, which means you have the case on the right hand side or the case on the left handed side. Now I'll be doing these intuitively, but if you can read cube notations, you can just follow along with the algorithm on the screen. But what you want to do is you want to, if it's on the right side, you put the corner there, and then you push the edge behind the corner. And then you do a U2, and finally you insert. And when it's on the left-handed side, you do the same. You first put the corner there, you push the edge behind the corner, do U2, and then you insert on the left side. Now, just like with the edges, sometimes the corner is not in the top layer. So for example, if we want to solve this slot first, but the corner is here, what you can do is, if there is a corner that is still unsolved, for example this one, you can first solve it, as it will nudge this one out, and then you can solve this one afterwards. But sometimes you have the case where you have one last slot unsolved with the corner twisted, or two unsolved or even more, but then you have nothing to nut them out because all the rest are solved and the top layer only has yellow corners. So what you want to do when you have such a case is you can take them out, split them up and insert, but that's very hard for beginners. So what I suggest doing is to just see this as a case and just do the three sexy move case to insert a yellow corner, and this will nudge this corner out, and then you can just do it normally. And the same with this edge, just do three sexy moves to kick that one out, and then you have a normal case which you can then solve. Now that you know everything about Zeta-slotting, here's an example solve. So we already have the cross made on the bottom, and now we're going to start. So first I see this edge that we can just insert very quickly, like this. And here we have another one we can just insert. This nudges this one out, so we can put it on top, blue facing blue, so we can just insert it this way. And on the final edge is in its correct slot and it's twisted, so we have to take it out. We take it out, then we match the top color with the center, like this, and then we can insert. Now we can move on to the corners. So I can start with either of those. I choose this one, we put it on top, and this is the 3 sexy move case. So we do RU, and here's the next one. We put it on the right side, and once again, 3 sexy moves. And finally, we have 2 of these, but they're already in the slot, and we have nothing else to nudge them out, so we just have to use a yellow corner to nudge them out. We can just use sexy moves for this, and then we have the case on the right hand side. So move the corner to the back, we push the edge behind it, and we just insert, and here we have the sexy move case once again. Now that you have F2L solved, you need to do OLL and PLL to solve the cube. I will not be covering OLL and PLL in this video, but I do have a great PLL video that you can check out. Zeta-slotting is the easiest F2L can be. If you want to be better and faster at F2L, I suggest you to watch these 2 videos as they are much more advanced. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as this video took absolutely ages to make.